Hey, what's up people? It's me back in my kitchen and I'm going to show you now how to do some curry goat because that's what we're having tomorrow for Sunday dinner. Some people have asked me to show this, so particularly my PA Barbara. Babs. Sorry, Babs. So let me show you. If you watched my last vlog, which was the soup, the green Caribbean soup, I showed you at the end of that how I had seasoned or had some meat on the side seasoned. So let me show you now exactly what that is all about, okay? So we've got in here the curry goat, and well, it's goat meat, and I have put some black pepper, no salt, some garlic powder, and some goat meat seasoning, which you can buy from certain shops, but if you just want to use normal curry, that's fine. And I've put in there some sweet red sweet pepper, and some spring onion and some onion, and I've let it just sit there marinating in it. Okay, so this is a Dutch pot. It's just good iron, and it's really good for these kind of cooking. So if you can get yourself one, get one. My husband brought this back from the Caribbean, but you can get them here. So I put some oil into there, and it's sizzling nicely, so it's ready. So the meat is here, right? So what I want to do is put this now to sort of brown down. So I don't want the pepper and onion and all that to go in here. So that's why I'm picking it around and making sure that anything like that is scraped off. Because that can obviously burn, and then that will give it a slightly different flavour. So if you can season the meat like the night before you want it, and leave it, that's the best. Because obviously the longer you can leave that meat to marinade, we've got a bit of onion, the better. You want the flavour, obviously, but you also want the goat meat flavour to come through, because goat meat is very distinctive in its flavour. And if there's anyone out there saying, I don't want no goat meat, just try it. It tastes really good. That's all I'm going to tell you. So just get it down into the pan. And the thing with this Dutch pot is they're really good for not burning. They're just going to really cook it good. And you're just going to leave behind into the bowl all the other little bits of ingredients. So just get it all in there. Now I have to say there's different methods of cooking goat meat when we talk about curry goat. Each island in the Caribbean have their own way, and then people develop their own likes and dislikes, and so it evolves. But that's good, because that means whenever you eat curry goat, it's likely to taste different from the next. You didn't think about that one, did you? So don't diss anyone's curry goat is what I'm telling you. You might prefer it, you might not. That don't matter. It's all good. So I'm leaving behind all the onion, as I say, as much as I can, and getting the meat in there. So you'll see left behind is just the onion and thing. So we want to now brown this down. What do we mean when we brown it down? We mean cook it good. You want the meat to brown and for its natural flavors to come out. And you want to brown this down for some good time. Let it just do its thing. Because what you want at the end of this process is goat meat that is a nice colour, and goat meat that is coming off of the bone. Yeah, that's what you want. So, it's Saturday and I'm cooking this ahead of Sunday. I wouldn't normally do this, but what I'm going to do, because we've got some plans for Sunday, is I figured if I cook it down now, then what I hope to do tomorrow is put it into the slow cooker whilst we're out and about and let it continue its cooking so that it does that melting off the bone thing. But you really want to seal it, so you don't want to put this, you know, raw into the slow cooker. You want this to really cook really well into it, so when you're putting it into the slow cooker, it's pretty much cooked, but then you're just really cooking it in so that it's really going to melt off and be nice. And I have to say, I think that the simpler you keep it, the better, because you want the goat flavour. A lot of people add all sorts of different things, tomatoes, a lot of curry. It's not a curry. Like, I went somewhere recently and they were advertising goat curry as a Caribbean dish. We don't do goat curry. What's that about? It's curried goat. It's a difference. Curried goat is the goat meat has been curried a little bit and cooked down. Goat curry is like your chicken curry, your beef curry with all the sauce and all that you're used to. No, this is different. Don't get confused. Again, you could do this like a goat curry if you want. But if you really want to try something authentically Caribbean, we'll do it their way. Don't do it your way or do it the commercial way. Do it the right way. You know, I'm getting quite political because things like this. So just do it right. Know what you're doing. Curried goat. So the goat meat seasoning will have all that you need in terms of ingredient, and you're not wanting to lather that meat in it. It's about flavor, but allowing the goat meat flavor to still remain. If you can balance that, you're gonna win, and you're gonna have a good curried goat on your hand. Okay? It's that simple, guys. So this is currying down nicely. It's browned down, and you're just gonna, you know, leave that to do what it's got to do for as long as it needs to do it. Don't curry the thing. Go and have a dance, have a drink, have a sit down, whatever you got to do, and let this brown down. I'm going to leave this for a good little while, and in a little while I might add a little bit of water just to, you know, sop it up a bit. But ultimately this is quite good for a while now. That's why the Dutch pot is such a wonderful thing, because you don't need to really worry about it burning. So I'm just going to simmer that down a bit so it's not going to, you know, do too much damage. Just leave it. That's all you got to do. Okay? And we'll come back to that a little bit later. So I'm happy with how that has been browning down, and it's probably been a good 20 minutes or so. So it's got a nice, good bit of skin on it now. So I'm going to chuck in the onions and pepper and all that we had sitting aside, because obviously now it's all ready. So just so you can see it a little bit. See? It's a nice colour. Really good, dark colour. That's kind of what you're aiming for. Because that means you're sealing in the flavour now. And so really what we're doing by adding in the onion and that is we just want to sort of sweat that in now. We don't want them to burn really, because remember it alters the flavour. So we want to add some water, just plain water from the tap, just to give it now a little bit of building up the sauce. Okay? So you can see that. Because really what you want to do is you want to have enough water now on it. I'm probably just going to turn this up a little bit again just to get that heat on it. Probably just add a bit more water, not too much. You want that meat now to be covered with the water for it to cook. So we browned it down. Now you're getting this. We browned it down, okay? Now it's cooking. There's a difference. So when that is bubbling, then we'll turn it down, simmer it, and we'll cover it. And we'll just leave that as long as you want, really. And then what I would do is add some coconut milk and probably a little bit of potato just for thickening purposes. And then you would cook that as long as you wanted it to get the meat as soft as you want it. But remember, I'm putting it into the slow cooker. So I will show you this when it's being served, because from here on it's so simple. You're cooking it, and when it's done, you'll know. I mean, the meat is cooked. You could eat that meat now if you really wanted to, but you really got to soften it now. So you just got to turn it down, simmer it, put it in a slow cooker if you can. That's probably where it's gonna, better itself. Again, add what you want to it in terms of tomatoes and things like that if you want to. Some people add a bit of puree just to give it a different colour. But as I said, I think less is more in this pot. And then you're going to have that with some plain rice and some fried plantain on the side. And avocado. Now, when you go to the supermarket, depending on the supermarket, you don't get avocado like this, because they'll get their avocado from India and them places, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with their avocado, or they might get it from Europe. But West Indian avocado, the locals will call it pear. It's really sweet and nice. So I bought this a little while ago from a West Indian guy in Wolverhampton market, and it's just ripening nicely, so it's just soft to the touch. So tomorrow for dinner, you're having your goat, your plain rice, your fried plantain, and some of this. You're done. It's perfect. You could do some stew peas, which is where you get like some green pigeon peas, preferably, and you just cook them, put them in a pot, warm them up, soften them, add a bit of garlic, green onion, spring onion, salt, black pepper, butter, and get rid of the water, and then you got like what we call stew peas, and you could have that on the side. That's nice. So yeah, and then you got a really nice dish. So wait for the finished product. It's all good. This is how we do it, guys. So hi, it is Sunday, and as advised, I have put the curried goat into the slow cooker, which is there. Ooh, there's a bit of steam. And it's looking good. And when I last checked in with you, I put in some coconut milk, I put a bit of salt in, and then when I put it into the slow cooker this morning, I put a Scotch bonnet pepper on top. You've seen me do that before with my oxtail, and then just let that do its ting in the tingner. And yeah, and let it cook. And so we've got some rice. So we've got some freshly boiled white rice. We've got some fried plantain. Plantain is really simple. It's just like a banana, so just peel it, slice it as ever you want to. We've got some salad, courtesy of this one.
Hey.
And there is the avocado. See how sweet and juicy that is. So guys, that is how you do curried goat. So just want to say thank you all for continuing to watch my vlogs. I hope you're finding them interesting, useful, helpful, entertaining. Can you please give me feedback on what I'm doing good, right, wrong, whatever. Could you also share, subscribe, tell everyone about me so that I can become famous? No, not really. I don't want to become famous, but I do want people to enjoy what I do, and I hope you find me real and that I'm just bringing something different and interesting and entertaining to your lives. So thank you all, and it's over and out for now. Family time is awaiting. All right, you know it goes, guys. You know it goes. You gotta own it and you gotta control it. Next time.
Just let me stay for the record.
Good. Here we have the Vincy verdict. Okay, the silence tells us it's good. There's the hot pepper, guys. Enjoy, enjoy. I'm going to eat my food now.